Failing grade. An independent report says the operator of Fukushima Daiichi and the Japanese government made mistakes before, during, and after the March nuclear accident. Members of an independent government panel have spent more than half a year trying to figure out what went wrong on March 11th. Tsunami predictions ignored, emergency procedures bungled, communication insufficient. The panel says Tokyo Electric Power Company and the government both made mistakes, leading to the accident and subsequent meltdowns at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant. The 10-member panel released its interim report on Monday. The investigation started in June. The members interviewed 456 people, including TEPCO workers and government officials. The report describes at length how TEPCO had predicted in 2008 that a tsunami higher than 10 meters could hit the plant. The utility failed to take action to toughen up its anti-tsunami measures. The report says that ultimately failed to prevent the meltdowns at Fukushima Daiichi. Panel members also criticized TEPCO's initial response to the accident. They say fire trucks should have been dispatched earlier to pump water into the reactors. That may have lessened the damage to the fuel rods, thereby reducing the release of radiation. The report also found the government's handling of the crisis problematic. A computer system that predicts how radioactive materials spread in the event of a nuclear accident was not used when evacuations were planned. And evacuation orders were not precise, so they failed to promptly reach the affected municipalities. A Japanese nuclear expert is calling for further investigation.
It should be clarified whether the Prime Minister's office took effective action while the accident was in progress and the situation remained volatile. The investigation should access the crisis management system and comment on the matter in their final report.
At HK World's Mitsuko Nishikawa joins us with more details. So, Mitsuko, I recall TEPCO issued an interim report on Fukushima accident earlier this month.
Right.
Now, there's a new report from the government panel. How do these probes differ?
Well, the TEPCO report was drafted by specialists handpicked by the utility, but the government report comes from an independent committee, so it could be seen as more objective. TEPCO's report did touch on how the meltdowns occurred, but it failed to clarify the root cause of the accident. For the first time, this new report clearly states the Japanese government played a role in making the crisis worse. It says the government wasn't prepared for 3 disasters: a big earthquake, a tsunami, and a nuclear accident. It says communication was insufficient between the Prime Minister's office and the Crisis Management Center, which was responsible for gathering updated information on Fukushima.
What about Tokyo Electric Power Company? What does this report say about TEPCO?
Well, it explains in detail the errors TEPCO workers made right after the earthquake and tsunami hit Fukushima Daiichi. They were late to respond to the problems with reactor number 1. They fell behind in their attempt to cool down the reactor. They failed to use the only workable cooling system called the isolated condenser after the plant lost its major power sources. The condenser uses steam to cool it down, but neither workers, the task force on the site, nor officials at headquarters knew how to operate the condenser at the time of the emergency. The report says, as the operator of a nuclear plant, TEPCO's lack of knowledge was extremely inappropriate. It says there could have been ways to slow down the pace of meltdowns and lessen the leakage of radiation outside a plant.
So what is the next step to get to the bottom of what happened at Fukushima Daiichi?
Well, the independent government committee is scheduled to finalize this report by the summer of 2012 after interviewing officials and ministers who were in charge during the time of the accident. The committee is calling for fundamental and drastic changes to nuclear safety and disaster response policy.
Right, HK World's Mitsuko Nishikawa reporting for us tonight. Mitsuko, thank you. Appreciate it.
Sure.